What's up, guys? Taking a break from painting the non-metal metallic on this dude to play some Kal Arath. Boom, back over here. I don't have time for a full session, but that's what makes Kal Arath awesome. I did like a half session before on the first video. I'll do another session now, and I think with those two sessions together, that will get us a level. And I want to do some things with my Prima Materia dice. So one thing I want to talk about is I'm not using these because of a deficiency in Kal Arath or anything. I just think they're neat. And so we had the encounter with the giant praying mantis, essentially. We helped him. He had a battle injury. Looks like maybe a battle barge crashed into him or something. I have since learned that praying mantises don't live in colonies. They're solo. They're solo dolo. So there wasn't a colony. There's just maybe it crashed into him. He was injured. Our character, Garen Vosque, helped him out. We rolled for the encounter table, and the disposition or the reaction was neutral, right? Again, Kal Arath has these reactions. This is perfectly fine, you know. 2d6 plus oppression, so we got a neutral, and we helped him out. But we want to go a little bit more in depth as these two kind of head back towards the crash site, and that's where these little beauties come into play. And so this Prima Materia by Manalone, he did the writing and the concept, and then Dice Nest made these amazing dice. I'm gonna do a review on these, but I want to use them more. I really want to use them, and before I make a video on them, because there's just like, you can look at the pages of the book. There's just so much here in a great way, and I've read the book cover to cover like 3 times now, and I'm just finding more and more. In the back, there's a ton of tables if you just want to use the tables. But to me, the power in these is the interpretation, and they keep you in the story. It's not, you're not going and looking for a table lookup. You're interpreting this. These are cast. You know, like, because this dice is now closer to this one, you read them in this order. If this had been closer, you would have read them in this order, and that changes things. So that part I think is cool. You know, it's always just fun rolling dice, and it's not so fun looking at tables. You know what I mean? So let's find a little bit more about maybe let's start thinking about the motives of the praying mantis guy. Why, what's he doing, you know? Let's think about, like, what are his thoughts towards our character. So because this one is closer, we interpret them in this order. And so the swirly boy, this is fortune. But because the fortune is on, this is the Knox dice, and it's not like this is not bad and good. It's the inversion, like this is the shadow principle. You know, so this is soul, this is Knox. So again, it's hard to distinguish, especially if you're not familiar with Jungian psychology, which I have a degree in psychology actually, and he's the reason I have it. But then I went to school and I realized they don't teach you this stuff. They don't teach you the cool stuff about Jung when you go to college. They teach you the boring stuff about him. But anyway, I guess it's fitting that I'm going on a ramble with a Manalone product. But with this result, the things that this can symbolize are like gamble, risk, chance, a loss, misfortune, and uncertainty. So we know that our little guy, he was hurt. He saw the campfire and he wandered over hoping he could get some help, and he took that risk and he took that gamble. This dice here is called the syzygy dice, which represents like the coming together of 2 parts. And on this kind of tells us how these two relate to each other. And this symbol means within. So just think about within. And then this is the self. So we have like uncertainty, a gamble. He took a chance within himself. So he had a desire. He took a choice to maybe risk seeking out some help. And that was his motives. He was just he's like, hey, I'm going to risk it. I see a campfire. I'm going to die if this post stays in me. I need someone to help pull it out so I can shed this leg and then molt and go. But I can't molt and heal myself with this post in me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, either turn the video off or go watch the old video. But that's where we're at. Okay, so now that they're together, are they going to be friends? You know, now that Garen has kind of healed him, what is their relationship like as they're walking to the crash site? Are they going to be homies? All right, so now this time we have fortune again, or this is fortune on the white dice above the mind. So this is where this gets, where it's cooler. It's cooler than a table, like a, you know, because in just the Kal Arath rolls, I could have just rolled a d6, and it's, are they homies? And this would have been a no but. And that's not very fun. We want to be homies. This result is better. Maybe I should move my camera so you can actually take a look at it. So this is fortune above mind. And because fortune is on the soul of the white dice, this is luck, timing, treasure, prophecy, a wish, a favor, a reward, coincidence. It's kind of crazy how this is already tying together in our story. And when you call upon the Greeks, when you call upon alchemy, when you call upon intention, and when you pray to Carl Jung, this is the kind of stuff you get. You get what are called synchronicities. And this is what happens. So above is conquering over, right? Like that's over. So the good fortune, the good luck, the timing, the reward is over the mind. So in this instance, because this is on the black dice, Knox, that's doubt, anxiety, obsession, fear, fixation. So because of the timing and the good luck and maybe prophecy is going to weigh over the doubt and the anxiety and the fear. So these two, who probably could have very much been in a combat with each other, are having a good time. They're friends, they're allies, they're vibing together. They're walking back to this crash site. We know that Garen has maybe some ulterior motives because he wants to refurbish his own battle barge, and he was kind of leery, and he really only helped the praying mantis the first time because he saw that it was the control module, the control gem that makes the thing run. So he pulled it out, pocketed it, but now it seems like he's made an actual true friendship. So now as we progress through our situations, we can approach that relationship with a little bit more nuance, with a little bit more of an idea of where this is heading, way more than just a yes or a no or a table. We keep getting twos on that one. These dice have done me so dirty. I love them, but they keep rolling so low when it's been a problem. I've been trying to play them with pillage, but they just keep rolling twos. They all roll bad. They go into dice shell again. I'm using my sweet mage knight tokens to show where our people are at. So we're here. We'll just use this cool one here. We're moving north towards the crash site. So now let's jump back into the Kal Arath rulebook and see what we. Again, I just want to be clear. You don't need these. Kal Arath is a fully self-contained system. There are, for story question, turning points or situations, there are tables in here that you can roll on that are great tables. They're awesome. These are some of the better tables I've seen. I'm not using those dice because Kal Arath can't do it or isn't good at it. I think they're neat and I think they're cool, and I think it just adds a whole other level. We could have very much just kept the D6 system within Kal Arath and made a story that's just as good. So now that we are back, we're doing some overland travel. We're moving from one hex to the next. We start off by rolling for the weather. It's a 6. I finally rolled something good, or rolled something high. And in Kal Arath, rolling a 6 for the weather is not good. So thunder rolls in as a major storm breaks. High winds and heavy rains. No travel today. Begin the next day in the same hex. And foraging is impossible, and we're at a -2 to potentially get lost. So maybe these two try to set out, and as soon as they set out, it starts storming. So now they're bunkered in together. So it's a good thing that they're getting along, because who knows what could have happened there. Because it's springtime here from another roll. So now we roll to see if we get lost. If we roll a 1 to 2, it means we're lost, and we're at a -2 on this roll. We roll a 5. So if I could keep it in frame, it'd be helpful. So one of these days I'm going to be a good YouTuber. So we rolled a 5, so we're not lost. We can't forage, which is fine. So we're gonna have to use some of our rations, and that's okay too. So we're going to share some of our rations. I think we do that. Yeah, we do that at the end of the day. But now we're gonna roll for place of interest. So we've already been here. We're starting in the same hex, but maybe since we're here longer, we'll find another point of interest. A 5. Oh, we roll. It's a D66. So that means one more. 51. There's a giant skull and bones. So we've come across a giant skull and bones, maybe in this cave that we're hunkered in. Okay, so after rolling the dice and doing the story elements of Kal Arath, we have our character and now his new pet giant praying mantis hunkered down in this cave with a storm outside, and they find a giant's skull. Not a giant skull, but a giant with an apostrophe S skull in the cave. Garen's gonna start investigating the skull, and he's going to see if there's anything interesting. So one, can he identify that it is a skull? We're gonna roll at our intelligence. So can he tell that it belongs to a giant? Which we rolled a 9 minus 1 is an 8. So he can identify that it's a giant. So now what we want to know, we can use the insight table in Kal Arath. I'll show you how that works. So again, you roll 2. We can roll 3 times. So let's see, 50. And I like these for these D100 tables because I just count the black. If I get a black number, I count that first. And then otherwise, I just count whichever one is farthest to the left. But usually it's like 50-50. So it's a sacred. It is a sacred. An extra sacred. 42. It is a sacred ruined. Oh, it's ruined, not ruined. It is a very sacred, ruined giant skull. So maybe he sees that there's runes on it. It's becoming clear that this was maybe a religious site and that people were praying to the skull and something had caused the skull to be damaged. So now, again, like when you're solo role playing, it's all kind of theater of them in the mind and making like story prompts. Like you're almost writing a story with extra steps. You're kind of pulling this out of the tables and the die and your imagination, and you're not like sitting down most of the time unless you're following a narrative. This is what like a real, like you're stumbling through a solo play. Like I didn't have a pre-contrived or a preconceived story in my head. I'm coming off the top, interpreting these die rolls in a way that maybe makes sense and I think would be cool. So now we have our character and his friend. They run inside of this cave during a thunderstorm, and they realize that they just walked into some cult's probably holy ground, and the big icon of a giant skull on a pedestal has been damaged and is busted and ruined. And now they really don't want to be here when the cult comes back, either because maybe they think they're going to steal it, or either that they broke it, or maybe just because they don't want to be intruding on a cult's holy ground. And we've gotten all of that just from rolling these die. And now there's a lot of other cool things that you can do with the Prima Materia die. It doesn't have to be a 3 dice roll, you know? There's these things called plucks. I'll show you the way this works. So because we're kind of in this, we're in a sticky situation, I'm gonna use the Knox die. And just a quick one, this is called a peek. And I just want a little bit more insight, maybe into the cult. Like, is it a cult that is worshiping this? Like a little bit more insight into the giant skull. So we get connection, entanglement, obligation, dependence, exposure, leverage, conflict, expectation. So that we know that because these two are in this cave with this giant skull, they're going to get caught in an entanglement with this cult, period. So where do we take it from there, you know? With the Kal Arath rules, we're gonna have to eat some rations. So I think what I'll do is Garen kind of looks through the skull. He's like, hey, maybe we should get out of here. Has the storm let up enough that they're able to get out of the cave? No. And when they leave, they see that the cult is on their way to the cave. And that's the way that Kal Arath works, because when you roll a 1, you don't just fail, you fail and something even worse happens. So the cult is here. They're walking up. Garen and his newfound friend are gonna be caught with these cult members. They're gonna be caught up against it with these cult members. So they know there's no way around it. The cult they're rushing to it. Maybe they have some sort of magic that tells them that intruders are there. Okay, we're gonna roll how many there are. There's only 2. That's not too bad. So there's 2 cave people. We're gonna use the cave people entry from Kal Arath. They have a shield and a club or a spear. All right, we're gonna try to draw this cave out. I hope this is waterproofing. Hopefully I have it in the right side, right? So I'm just gonna do this quick and dirty the first time, and then I'll go back and kind of like spruce it up some. So I'm just gonna try to draw them fast. I got this method from Runehammer. So we're not gonna draw the back of the cave. Like there's clearly more going off in that direction. I drew these lines, right? The trick now is you draw a second line. Maybe if my pen wants to work. This looks like maybe it's probably still mixed. And then you follow it roughly, but you overlap it and you get kind of wonky with it. Actually, you know what? We might as well just finish the cave wall back here. Why not? So you draw the same line. And this fountain pen's been sitting for a bit. You follow the same path, and then now you go back in and you connect and you draw in all the places that overlap. So I'll be right back. Okay, so see, now, without really knowing how to draw or being good at drawing, you can draw like a cool outline of a cave that actually doesn't look half bad, you know? So now we have our two baddies. We'll say this guy's the leader. He's the 4 HP one. This guy's the 2 HP one. He's kind of sending him in first. And then we have Garen, and we have the praying mantis in the back. And then of course we have to have, this is our treasure. This is our giant skull, you know, and we can come back in and we can add little details to the ground. Maybe we'll probably draw the giant skull in later, but this is how quick and easy it is to set up combat. And so now in a pretty small footprint here, or I could even probably like go this way, you can see that my lightweight kit is coming in handy here, because it's not super tactical, but there is some element to positioning. There is initiative. So let's roll it. For initiative, what we do is we roll. All right, so we roll a d6 plus our agility. Garen's agility is 2, so he's a d6 plus 2, so that's a 7. On a 4-up, we go first. Otherwise, our enemies do. So, and it's side-wise initiative. So because Garen won that initiative roll, his whole group, his whole posse gets to go first. The mantis is pretty insane, actually. I didn't realize just how strong They were in close combat, so it's good that Garen did not piss this thing off or try to attack it. The mantis has an attack where it can move. If it jumps, it has a combat leap, so it can jump into combat and then now try to attack with its claw. Its claw attack is a D6, and we're trying to just hit an 8 here, which that is not an 8, so this attack misses. If that attack would have hit, I would have got to hit with my second bite attack without it. But I still do have a second attack. And with NPCs, normally your attack is plus your strength, but I don't have a strength stat on the mantis, so I'm just straight rolling, which I think is fair. The bite attack does hit, so because that hits, I roll, it's a D6 damage, and then because this person has a shield, it's going to be -1, but this still just kills this guy. So the mantis immediately leaps into action, takes the guy out. Garen is going to move. I don't think he can't quite leap into battle, so he's gonna move half the distance to try and get into position to get an attack off on this guy. Because now it's over to these guys, but because this guy just saw his partner die, he has to face a morale check. 2d6. He passes the morale check. If it was higher than an 8, then he would flee. But he passes his morale check. He's going to be really mad that this monster killed his friend. He's going to come in blazing. He has a spear, so he's looking for an 8. He misses with his spear. Back over to the mantis. The mantis gets 2 attacks. We're looking for an 8 with claws. Misses. Looking for an 8. He's going to try to bite. That also misses. And again, I'm just rolling. 1, because it's getting pretty late. But 2, like, you can narrate this battle in your head. Like, the mantis leaps across the cave, strikes down the first cultist who steps through the gate, and then he's accosted by the leader with a spear. The spear is parrying the claw blows, and the mantis can't get his head in to bite. Maybe because his leg is still injured, so he can't quite fight on his normal level, and that's why his lunge actually missed the first time, but he was able to swing through and still bite the guy and take him out. Those are all things that can be going in your head. You don't have to just be straight rolling dice. But now, on Garen's turn, he can come in. He's going to swing his long sword, and he is a warrior, so he gets +1 to his longsword attacks. So we're 2d6 plus 3, looking for an 8, and we miss. Yikes. Our hero is not heroing. So he's there. He's there. We're the melee's going on. Now we're back over to him. I don't believe we roll the morale check. I think it's a triggered kind of thing. I don't think it's something they roll every turn. So now he's looking at the mantis. He's looking at Garen. He's going to try to fight back with Garen since Garen just ran in. Mainly because I want to show you how the rolls work against the player. So all the rolls are player facing normally, but just because we have an NPC ally, it kind of changes things. But now, instead of an attack roll, what we're doing is a roll to see if we dodge. So it's 2d6 plus agility. I rolled an 8 plus 2, so that's a 10. We just dodge the cultist attack. I think it's really cool. The player facing rolls really do like that. I love it in Crown and Skull, like it in this. So now, again, back over to our heroes. Garen's pissed. He's going to try to get another attack off. We're going to just roll him first. He swings and misses. Maybe our mantis can get an 8. All right, he hits with his claw. So now we roll a d6. Ooh, it is a 6. We're rolling hot, so that goes down to 5 damage because this person has a shield. But now he is dead. So I just like to normally just boom. So now We got out of that pretty lucky. We're facing down 2 dead cultists and a religious demon skull. And I think we're going to end it there because it's time for bed. We're going to rest up. We're going to share our rations, of course. We're going to go down 2 rations on our character sheet because I definitely don't want to forget that. And we'll pick things up, looting the bodies, and maybe seeing if we have a nighttime encounter. Thanks for making it this far. This is a big one for me. This is the most I have spoken in like probably 30 days. So stuff the doctor gave me is working. Feels really good. Still not quite like a normal voice again, but thanks for being here. See you tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing. Just every day it's the variety show hour.